What's going on, guys? Straw Hat Brian, we back again. Here to deliver this One Piece chapter 903 review for you guys. If you haven't read it yet, I suggest you do so now because, bro, spoilers are going to be in this video. So without anything left to say, we're going to talk about this cover story because the cover story actually has to do with, you know, we progressing these cover stories, bro. You know what I mean? And the Orlumbus arc begins and we see that he's setting sail on a new adventure. Where's my man's going? I don't know. But I dig Orlumbus because he's basically based off of Christopher Columbus, because everybody knows that. But he just looks so dope. Like, he looks like Whitebeard, bro. Like a young, cool relative of Whitebeard. Like Whitebeard's like nephew, man. Like, dude looks solid. Like, if I need somebody on my squad, I need Orlumbus because obviously this dude already had majority of the Grand Fleet. Like, he makes up 3,200 men. His own fleet makes up 3,200 men. Bro, it's insane. Like, or I could be wrong. I think it was maybe less than that. It might have been 1,500 men. But still, he got a lot of people following him, bro. You know what I mean? His ship, the Yonta Moria, that's a pirate ship, bro. That's what a pirate ship looks like. That joint is tough. So anyway, chapter opens up, you know what I mean? You got Luffy and Chopper. They basically try and convince Sanji. They're like, yo, man, like, you got this raid suit, Pop. Like, you need to use it. Like, give it back, bro. Like, Niji gave it to me. And then Sanji's like, nah, dude. Like, we don't need this technology. There's no need for this technology. You don't need this technology. Like, because obviously he is ashamed of his past. He's ashamed that now that everybody knows his secret and in his origins, now he's all feeling like, man, this sucks. But, you know, like, he can't play it off for long. He's going to have to come to terms to just accept, like, they know and they still accept Sanji for who he is, regardless of his past, regardless of how his family treats him or treated him in the past, and regardless of where he came from. So, you know, Niji, he slipped that into Luffy's pocket while Luffy was unconscious. Well, Luffy's probably fading in and out of conscious at that point, but slipped it into his pocket. But I believe that currently only Sanji is the one who can use that raid suit because Luffy and Chopper stayed, like, they can't get it to work. So I think currently only Sanji can use it. He might use it maybe once or two times during the story. I'm theorizing that. But I do think that eventually he might give it to Usopp to tinker with, or for Usopp to take the technology itself and to create his own variations of the raid suit for all the Straw Hat members, and with some of Frankie's technology included in it. I think that would be significantly awesome. Like, that would be insane. And then, you know, we also get the reveal that, hey, Nami stole Zeus. And then Nami, because, you know, as Sanji's just kind of writing off science as, like, being, like, you know, nothing. Like, bro, like, we don't need it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. And, you know, Nami's like, Sanji, are you really making fun of science? Like, my climate tech is of sorcery and science, like, from Usopp's technology. And then basically reveals Zeus, and then Zeus is like, yeah, man, like, I'm gonna stick around because she got the goods, man. She got the goods, like, she got that work. And then Sanji's like, listen here, buddy, I've been a slave long before you even showed up. And then so, like, you already see that there's gonna be the comedic purpose of them two beefing, along with Zoro and Sanji beefing, and I'm wondering how Zeus is going to get along with all the other Straw Hat members. I think that's going to be really cool to see. But I don't think he's going to stay with the Straw Hats. I don't think this is permanent. Or it would be even better if, when Big Mom chases down the Straw Hats, that Nami just takes Prometheus too. Like, what? Takes 2 parts of Big Mom's soul and just be like, yeah, bro, your soul's mine now. That would be insane. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's least likely case scenario, but I think that would be awesome. So then, you know, the news coup is dropping off papers all around the world at this time. It drops one off on 1000 Sunny. And then it reveals that Sanji's bounty went up. Reveals that his name is Vinsmoke Sanji. And that, you know, Vinsmoke is his surname. And it's also, you know, he's glowing that, like, yo, my bounty is now higher than Zoro's. But, you know, that's not going to last for long. After Wano, Zoro's bounty is going to shoot up to 500 million or a little bit higher than that, because that's kind of what Zoro's bounty trends. It, like, follows whatever Luffy's bounty was previously. It kind of touches as close to that as possible. Like when Luffy had 50 mil, he had 30 mil. Like when Luffy was at 100 mil, he was at like 80. You know what I'm saying? When Luffy was at 320, my man was at 200. Like, so he's always going to be close to Luffy. Always. That's always going to happen. So now Luffy's at 1.5 bill. It's only right if Zoro actually takes up like a 600 million berry bounty or more. At least double Sanji, because I do feel like Zoro still puts in more time and more effort and more work than all the other Straw Hat members. You know what I mean? He's first mate, bro. What he does what he got to do. So Luffy, he's reading the paper and he's disheartened because he believes that his bounty has gone down, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? And as as he's reading, the story pretty much after that just kind of shifts. We see Shirahoshi, she's talking about how she wants to go to to the reverie. She finally decided that she wants to make her dreams come true, and to take on her mother's will and to see her mother's dream come to fruition. So she feels like she thinks it's time for her to go to the surface. You also get to see Dalton, Crocodile, Vivi, Capone, Chiffon, just to name a few, and everybody's reading, this paper. And the next scene shifts over, and the paper states that from the actions that took place on Whole Cake Island, and from Luffy being able to escape Big Mom's territory, as well as beating 2 Yonko commanders whose bounties together equal over 1 billion berries, they awarded him with the title of the Goko, or the 5th Yonko, or Son Goku. You feel what I'm saying? The Monkey King. Because at the end of the day, that's what the Pirate King is. It is to be the Monkey King, the most freest man of all, the most freest person of all. Like, doesn't matter of who you are, what race, whatever. Like, you can be a monkey and be free. I guess that's what he's saying. I don't know. But there's so many parallels and connections between, like, the mythos, Japanese folklore mythos and the One Piece story. So, who knows? And, scene also shifts over. You get to see Captain Kobe come back, and he's a captain. Kobe's, and this cool, 3, 4 cool panels of him, like, he's like swimming underwater. He like stops a freaking torpedo with like his hand, like, stopping these pirates from trying to, salvage the Dressrosa fleet. And he was doing it all before even the rest of the Marine people could even notice. Like, he was already on the move. Like, and we found out that's how strong his observation hockey is. And I'm sorry that I'm hyped, but like, I like Kobe. Like, I think Kobe's dope. I feel like he just needs to get stronger, and I think we're starting to see that, because I think, like, if Luffy would have stayed under the tutelage of Garp, bro, Luffy probably would not struggle as much as he probably did. Like, if he probably just, like, stopped being as stubborn and just trained under Garp and then basically defected from the Marines, like, later on in life, bro, Luffy probably would have found One Piece already. No lie. Kiros, he compliments Kobe on his strength and he's acknowledging how strong he is, and tell him, like, hey, I've heard about you. I'm very familiar, with some of your some of your heroics and some of the things that you've done. You know what I mean? You're famous for helping out at the Rocky Port incident. And I'm failing to recall what that was, but I do remember that being mentioned. So I think that was a part of Dressrosa. Not 100% too sure. I could be wrong on that. Somebody, if you know the answer, please hit me up in the comment section down below with that answer. But I'm failing on what was the Rocky Port incident. But then we also get the big reveal that Luffy's bounty has shot up to 1.5 billion berries, and the whole time he was just reading it wrong. So if Luffy was just a little bit smarter, who knows how far Luffy could really get, as he's sailing these 7 seasons. I think that was the same thing with Roger. I think that Roger was very ignorant, very reckless, probably did things, without really thinking things all the way through. And I think that it's like we see that mirror from Luffy, but I think like now it's time for Luffy to kind of start wising up a little more and start taking things seriously, like, and learning how to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just beat everybody up. You got to use your brains too. You know what I mean? Brain over brawn. It happens. So I think that was really cool. We also got to see the reactions of all the other Yonko. Like, Big Mom's like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? You a Yonko, or were you a Goko? You one of us now? Yeah, right, bro. That's all out of pure luck. Blackbeard, he, you know what I mean? And I wonder why Blackbeard was darkened out in his panel. Like, we didn't even get to see, like, really what does Blackbeard look like after all, you know, all this time, after these 2.5 years. So we don't know what he looks like currently, but we see Blackbeard. He's like, you know, it's just much too early for you, Straw Hat, you know what I mean? But then you think about it, like, isn't it much too early for Blackbeard? Or was it because he's been scheming all this time? And because Blackbeard, according to Ace, has lived twice as long as everybody else. Basically, it's like he's lived 2 lives. So, who knows? But I think this is dope, man. This is the dopest reveal. This chapter is a solid 5 out of 5. Simply just because your boy Luffy crushing the competition right now. Like, what is the other... What are the other people in the worst generation doing? Like, my man's Luffy's out here doing things. Chapter is a solid 5. I don't care. Disagree with me, you disagree with me. Like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. This is Straw Hat Brian. I'm signing out right now. You guys have a wonderful evening.